Who can find a virtuous woman? Her worth is far above rubies. Let me tell you a story. In one of the greatest museums in the world, there is a special room, reinforced security, carefully controlled lighting. At the center of that room, protected by bulletproof glass, lies one of the most valuable rubies ever discovered. People travel from every corner of the globe just to gaze at it for a few seconds. One day, a jeweler who specialized in rare stones was invited to examine that ruby. While most visitors passed by quickly, she stayed, studying every facet, every glimmer of light. A security guard, intrigued by her focus, asked, "What do you see that others don't?" Without taking her eyes off the stone, she replied, "I'm not just seeing a ruby, I'm seeing its story. I see the intense pressure that formed it deep within the earth. I see how it withstood extreme heat, crushing force, and yet, or perhaps because of it, it became something of incomparable beauty." Have you ever wondered why, of all the possible comparisons, God chose a ruby to speak of your value? It wasn't by accident. A ruby isn't born ready. It is formed under extreme conditions, intense pressure, unbearable heat, time, a lot of time. Just like you. Every challenge you faced, every tear you've cried, every night you thought you couldn't go on, all of it is part of the process that is forming something extraordinarily precious. But there's one crucial difference between you and a ruby. A ruby's value is determined by experts, by markets, by trends. Your value? Your value was determined by the very creator of the universe. And he says you are worth more than many rubies. Notice, the passage doesn't begin by saying what the virtuous woman does. It begins by saying who she is, her intrinsic worth. Because before any action, before any achievement, before any virtue, there is value. A value that doesn't need to be proven, only recognized. So how do we live out this truth in everyday life? How do we recognize our worth when the world constantly tries to diminish it? Start by listening to how you speak to yourself, that inner voice that's often more critical than any other person could ever be. What words does it use? What stories does it tell about who you are? Try this exercise. For 1 week, every time you look in the mirror, say out loud, "My worth is far above rubies." It may feel strange at first. It may sound artificial, but words have power. And when we begin to speak the truth about ourselves, something begins to shift. When was the last time you saw yourself the way God sees you? Not through the distorted lens of self-criticism or other people's expectations, but through the eyes of the one who formed you. Remember, the first step to living as a virtuous woman is not doing more. It is recognizing who you already are, a woman of immeasurable worth, more precious than many rubies.